Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Jeff Mendelson, and this is the One Big Tip podcast. My guest today is Olesya Wilson. Olesya is a certified nutritionist, functional diagnostic practitioner, and an energy healer. Her unique approach integrates cutting-edge lab testing, the latest discoveries in biological science, ancient herbal medicine, and revolutionary psychosomatic and energy healing practices to help people thrive by reversing the aging process and ending chronic health problems. We're going to talk all about energy today. This is going to be a wonderful discussion. Olesya, thank you so much for joining me and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we were just talking a lot during the pre-show. We were getting to know each other. Please take a minute and let everyone know who you are and what makes you so amazing.
Well, I am a lady originally from Russia. Now I live in Florida. I am mom of 2 children, 2 dogs, and a wife. And also I have a passion in what I share with people in my approach, where you combine mind, body, and soul, and you start with your body. You invest in this journey starting with your body.
Amazing. You know, one of the things I noticed is that my wife entered a program where, first of all, what they did was that they started out with all of the science stuff, all the lab testing, right? And she just got this whole battery of lab tests, done, where she just had to go get, just everything was checked. Right. And then it came back with a very interesting report where it's like, not only do you have to cut out this kind of stuff or eat more of that stuff, there was also a whole training around, really starting to understand yourself and understanding, how different foods and different, different products interact with your body in order to make sure that that you're living healthy and that you have a clear head and that you're able to make all this happen for you. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the science of how that works. Why all these blood tests and, all this stuff where you have to go to Quest Diagnostics and all that? And then how does it flow into, the rest of the rest of the program where you help people really refocus their energy and live a better life?
Well, Jeff, what is really important, in my opinion, is to not just to blindly trust everybody about what's happening in your body, but get into understanding of what's going on in it with your test results, with the thoughts you're thinking, with everything that's happening in your life. They kind of like self-observation, self-discovery. Is this what is our main purpose, I would say, or main excitement on this earth? And with the testing, with the sometimes different courses, with everything, we're just following this path. And a lot of times people get really, really annoyed when they don't see result, but just because we live in this small box thinking like what we see is the truth. The idea is, if you still that old soul that doesn't see a result where everybody else seeing result around you, it doesn't mean that something wrong with you. It just means your soul want more discoveries. That means you can get to a higher level. That means you really can achieve more. So in my approach, I use some of the lab tests, and I always say that you believe a person more than you believe the lab tests, because I've been through so many. I do like neurotransmitters, we check your mood, your hormones, the lab test, everything. But the thing is, for example, with the diet, and I've tried it all. I've tried from eating everything to not eating or drinking anything, like dry fasting. I've tried that all. And I understood that if you can't digest your food, it doesn't matter what you eat. And digesting your food starts with your bile and with your brain. When you're allowing every thought around you to get into your brain, the thoughts are just floating. When you're not directing your thoughts, you're constantly living in perceived stress, and then it spasms your whole body. Then your bile is not flowing, you're not digesting. But when you're in this state of knowing that you are creator, when your soul, your mind, and your body aligned, and I call it precision healing, like from all of the sides, right? You're looking at one person. Then all of a sudden you will see that you don't have to put so much effort and try and find the food. You'll understand that you digest anything. All of a sudden your body works the way it needs to work, but you just don't want. Your body knows what you want. So in the whole shenanigan story, the main idea is to find your way. That's what we really want. We can take all of the information and find our way.
Thank you so much for breaking it down like that. It's like one of the things that I've seen is this huge transformation that once you become really intentional about the things that you're putting into your body, right? I mean,
Mhm.
at first I used to think that it's, something that's just for crunchy people. Like I'm,
Right.
I'm not gonna buy into that. But but it really makes a difference. Partially because again, like my wife went through this program, and obviously it influences how we're living our life right now, and I have definitely seen the change. Just the change in state from being just a little bit more lethargic, to having more energy and being able to travel more, and then of course maintaining all of that, right? And maintaining that when you travel, maintaining that when you're trying to go about your day to day, or when you have a stressful day or a stressful week. There's just so many things that are going on that you really have to figure out, like, how are you going to get through this? Because at the end of the day, you have to take care of number one, right? You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Let's talk a little bit about that. What I really love about your one big tip is that it's really it's really succinct in that you need to treat your body like it's an investment, right? Like you're investing in yourself the same way that you invest in yourself to go to college, same way you invest in yourself, in order to to build yourself up so that you can make more money. You have to make sure that you have everything aligned as well. Let's talk a little bit about that. How do you treat your body like an investment, and what are some tips you can give that will help somebody really understand that point, and and push a change that'll really help them out in the future?
Mhm. You see, what I really think that your body is the only property or investment property you have, no matter what happens around us, right? You can lose your house, you can use your car, you can use your market investments, you can lose anything. And I've done this in my life. But the only thing you don't lose is your body. And when you have the clear brain, when you have the clear body that produces enough energy for you, that you have right neurotransmitters like serotonin, it makes you a good leader. When you have this clear working body that you don't have to concentrate on that all the time, you will see that your whole environment transforms. When you are very protective what you put in your body, when you remove like parasites, infections, bacteria, heavy metals, when you remove it from your body, you will see like your whole space around you start cleaning up. Literally, it works like magic. I've seen it in my life. So the more you start with this one big like cocoon of love, your personal space, your house, your temple of God as your body, you will see that it works like magic, and the layers and layers in your life, getting the same result as your body. Absolutely. From money to relationships to what's happening in the world.
One of the things that I found it really hard to grasp, and this really took me a long time to come to this realization, was that first of all, there's so much information out there, right? Anyone can go on the University of YouTube and get and look for this information, but how do you know how much of it is correct? How do you, and I think more to the point, how do you know what part of this information is good for you? How do you help people sort of figure out, like, some of the things that they should focus on and some of the things that they should stay away from? Not to discredit, some of the other practitioners and coaches, that have, maybe do have a lot of good information, but it may not be good for you. How do you help people navigate that?
Well, through my journey, I always created the courses, and I have everything from like when I was eating everything to now when my goal is don't drink, don't eat for a long time. And the thing is, it was a beautiful journey. And the key here is to not to be scared to take information or leave it, But the only way to know is to stay with your core. If you decide, if you had the dignity and bravery to choose one pathway, just stay with it for a while. As soon as you decide, I'm going to go on keto, all of a sudden the matrix or whatever, the information field start giving you all of the research, how maybe it should be vegan, maybe you should eat more carbs. But you need to understand that instead of just start floating through this information, you need to learn it and see with your own body if it works for you or not. Just give it 2 weeks, just give it 3 weeks for a really good habit and to understand how it works for your body. Just do 3 weeks, and don't let everybody seduce you, abuse you, change your mind. Stay with who you are, and you'll understand in a couple days, 3, 4, in a week, your body will give you the signals if it's yours or not, and then you absolutely have a right to change it. Now let me experiment with raw vegan. Don't be in a hurry and fall in love with the journey, because we won't arrive into health, into wealth, into perfect relationship. And this is the biggest trap. Because if we hate the journey, but we want the result, we will never achieve it. That's what I learned.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for breaking that down. And also it makes it really easy to understand, right? Because, you can go and discredit, being raw vegan or doing just a drink only diet or juicing or things like that. But at the end of the day, you really need to figure out like what works for you. Right. And the only way you can really make it work is, well, you got to try it, and you have to try it with intent. Like you can't just, juicing for 2 days isn't going to help anybody.
Yes.
Right.
And it's absolutely fine when keto works for you for a month and it just doesn't work. And your body will tell you, babe, it's time to move on. And you move on to raw vegan. And it's your next step of evolution. Do you understand? Because if we combine that mind, soul, and body, you have the steps of your evolution, like in your spiritual journey. Just don't be in a hurry. It might be that you need both keto yesterday, raw vegan today, and whatever, doing just powders. There are people, biohackers, that doing just powders, and they grow their muscle and they thrive. There are people I study with in Russia, they don't eat and don't drink for like a month, and they thrive and they have amazing energy. When I stopped eating ton of proteins that I can digest, I start gaining energy and build my muscle. There are a lot of illusions in this world. There is a lot of misinformation. You, as a creator, as a heart, is a very powerful being, as a soul. You just need to hear that higher self, and it will come to you. And understand your cravings. Sometimes you crave chocolate, it's just copper you crave, okay? Because you want to be more spiritual. That's where my approach, when people come to me, I look at them, it's like they're standing in the middle of a stadium, and I put all of the spotlights on them. I see from different angle what they need. So look at yourself from different angles, and don't believe everything. It's all an illusion. It's all right and it's all wrong. That's what I realized.
You got to choose the thing that works for you. Right. And I think that's the bottom line. Olesya, thank you so much for breaking that down. I really appreciate it. Can you please let everyone know how they can learn more about you and how they can reach out to you directly if they want to learn more?
Yes, it's my website, olesyawilson.com, OLESYA Wilson.com. And also you can find a lot of my videos on YouTube. It's a new channel. I really love it. So you can find a lot of information. You can schedule a call with me on my website and just talk. We'll just
Amazing.
talk.
Olesya, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. This has been so much fun. And I love talking about this stuff. So I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking the time to break it down for the audience.
Thank you. My